Somebody said, well, those wives, we don't need to teach them to love. They love naturally. That's not true. That's not true. Titus chapter 2. Titus chapter 2. And we're reading from verse 3 all through to verse 5. It says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving to much wine, teachers of good things. That is, the women leaders in the church, and those who are matured, and those who have been in this race before these young women came into the race, and those who have married, they've raised families, they've raised children, and they've helped and supported their husbands, and they have manifested the quality of a Christian wife. Now they're aged, now they're elderly. Let them teach now the women. What are they to teach the younger wives? Look at verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober, and to love their husbands, and to love their children. And we're not talking about, a mother just naturally loving the children, a wife naturally loving the wife. We're taught in the scripture that this is a scripture, is a scripture we should look at, and the kind of love we ought to have is not just I love you, I love you. What are the components of that love? And what does the scripture expect from the husband, from the wife? That they love each other. And it says to be distinct in verse 5, and chaste. That's part of the love demonstration to the husband. Keep us at home. That's part of that love. She's not running away from home early in the morning and then very late at night, coming back. And the husband and the wife, they barely see, they barely talk, they barely relate. There's no communication. It says keep us at home good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. One pillar, love, the love of Christ, the love coming from the heart of Christ to the believer. We're looking at Ephesians chapter 4 verse 31. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. That's one side of love. The absence of bitterness, and the absence of malice, and the absence of bullying on each other, shouting on each other. That is a clamor. The absence of malice. There's no malice. You wake up in the morning, you love your wife, you love your husband, you love your children, you love your parents. There is love. That is the absence of every negative attitude. Look at the positive side of that love, verse 32. And be ye kind one to another. Be thoughtful. Think of kind things you can say, you ought to say. And the kind things